not be nice? That is a question. $55,000 question. Do I have to close? Oh, good. We're live.
We're good, okay.
It actually worked.
Yay!
Things worked today.
So exciting.
So we're gonna get started. So I'm Sally. This is Laura. We're
Hello.
at Elko and Zornbeck, and today we're gonna talk about the blind hem.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
go ahead and talk about it.
Well, first of all, let's go to this camera.
One.
Camera one.
Camera
This is a blind hem. You don't see anything really. I didn't do a very good job of pressing, so you can see the crease a little bit, but you don't see any stitches. I'll be honest, it took me more than one try to get it exactly right. But I'm going to show you how to do it. Now the first thing you're going to want to do is fold up your fabric where you want your hem. Okay. Then you're going to flip the whole thing over and fold it back so that you're working on the fabric that you just folded up for your hem. Give this a nice little crease. And then this is the adjustable rolled hem foot for the foff. And you want to sew a little test piece, just to find out where is that left-hand needle penetration going to go. When it gets over here, you see where it lands, and you want this red dial to be right on the side of the needle. Not in front of the needle, but right along the right edge of the needle. So once you get that alignment, then you can run the fold of your fabric right along, and we use that little red dial as a guide. And fingers crossed, toes crossed. When you're done, it catches the fabric, but just ever so slightly. Okay, just barely. So that when you turn it out and press it, you barely can see any kind of seam at all.
So if you use the right color thread, you won't see anything.
Correct. If I'd used a gold thread, it would be invisible. But it does take practice. Like on this side, the side I did first, you could still see a little bit. But it's just about getting the edge of this movable marker, if you will, to where it's just parallel with the edge of the needle, because the width between the edge of the needle and the eye should be all you're penetrating when you're taking your stitch, so that you're just almost missing.
I know a lot of machines have something that's called a blind hem stitch.
Yes.
So look in your manual for your sewing machine and
Right.
find your blind hem stitch.
Well, and this
It's
is
going to be a stitch, 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 zig, zag.
right. I'll turn it over to the right side so you can see. That's what this does. It does stitch, 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 and then a jog, and then a stitch, 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 and then a jog. That's actually called a bite. It does a bite. That's the hem part. This is stitching on the hem fabric. This is stitching into the front of the garment. But that is the blind hem stitch for woven fabric. There is a different blind hem stitch for stretch fabric, because you want little zigzags here and then a bigger zigzag here, then little zigzags here and a bigger zigzag there. And I highly recommend that you get a little swatch like this and practice. Find out where you need to line up that fold, because the fold is the tricky part. Now if your fold is big and loose like this, it's going to be hard to figure out where to line it up. So get the fold as flat as you can so that you can run it right along the edge.
You want to run it again and show them again?
I'm sorry?
Want to run it again and show them one more time?
Okay. So I'm going to pretend that this is my hem. I have a great big hem. And I'm going to fold it back. threads. So there's my hem. Folding it back.
We got shorter.
Yeah. Okay, this may not work because
I can go get you
stitching on
another
top
piece of fabric. Can we get another
You
piece?
know what? I think I can make it work with this guy.
If not, I'll grab
All right. So here is my fold, and I'm giving it a nice finger press, and I am just going to run that right along the edge of this red piece here, the red guide, because that is lined up with the right edge of my needle. Alright. And like I said, if I were using gold thread, you wouldn't even see it. So it should almost look like you're missing. Alright. So there we go, there's my hem. You can see I'm just barely catching one, maybe two threads.
It's
And that's
very satisfying when it works.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want. So then when you turn it over, you're just barely seeing the tiniest little bits over here. And if I were working with gold thread, it wouldn't show up at all. It would be completely invisible.
Yeah.
So that's the blind hem.
And it
Using
works
the
great.
blind hem foot. Yes.
Now with the Viking, there isn't any adjustment with the foot. It just goes how it goes.
Right,
With the
you just-
Foff, it's adjustable.
Correct.
So,
So now we made this little coaster. Let's go to this camera.
okay.
We made this little coaster, and this is just a 9 patch with one small exception. So we made the 9 patch. We sewed these 3 together. No, we sewed these 3 together, these 3 together, and these 3 together. Then we sewed all of this together, just this part and just this part. So we have an opening here. Then we put the backing fabric, which happened to be the same as this fabric, right sides together with our 9 patch, and then a piece of batting on top of that. So all the way around, and then turn it through this little opening and press out your corners. And you have a finished little coaster, and it's really sweet and simple to do. Now, Sally, what would you like me to do with the
I think you should
blind
use
hem
the
foot?
blind hem foot and top stitch across it, or stitch in the ditch, whichever you want to do.
Well, I think top stitching an 1/8 of an inch away, because then I can
Oh.
catch, well, you know what, even if I do stitch in the ditch, I don't know, we'll do something on it. Okay,
All right.
so I'm gonna change my stitch, because I just want a straight stitch.
So now this is another use you can have for your blind hem foot. Rather than a blind hem, you can do it for edge stitching
Right?
or top stitching,
Right,
correct?
yes, because I can line up this seam with the edge of my foot. Now right now, I've moved my needle. My needle is now in the center. So this is going to stitch just a tad to the left of this edge. I actually want it to stitch to the right, so I'm going to adjust this just by rotating the little wheel.
Her hand's in the way, but she's rotating the little
Sorry,
wheel.
I'm rotating this little wheel. Okay, I'm gonna rotate it just a tad more. Alright, so my needle is over here. This is off to the edge a little bit. So when I do this, you can see my needle is going to be just off center. Should be going. See, and I'm just lining that
So you're using the little red as guide?
Yes, I am. And then I'm getting super, super close to a stitch in the ditch without actually being a stitch in the ditch. And I could move it over more if I wanted to. See how that gives me a really nice...
That's a really nice straight stitch.
Yeah, it's nice and straight. I don't have to fuss with it. And I can do that on all of my stitching lines, and I would probably go on both sides. But this just sealed up that open area. So let's go ahead and do the next one. And I'm just
So if
running
you
that
want to
seam
go on
line.
both sides, then you would come down the other direction so that it'd be exactly the same direction from the other side then?
Correct. So, and I could just stop up here at the top, take a couple stitches, and maybe I took one stitch too many.
A
There we
stitch
go.
too far?
A stitch too
Kind of
far.
like a bridge too far.
Yeah. And see, then I can just come down this other side. And when I'm doing stitch in the ditch type work, I like to be off on both sides so that it looks intentional
Yeah,
that I missed.
because I miss anyway.
Yeah.
So you may as well make it intentional.
And so I like that look.
That looks really nice.
And you could do that around the whole thing. I'm gonna go ahead and do this other side of this one, and then the other two lines, and that's it, my little poster's done. But you can see how I'm just running the edge of that guide right on my seam allowance. So it's giving me a perfectly straight line the whole way.
Well, let's see
Assuming that
how
my,
it looks
my
going the other
seams are
direction.
straight.
I guess it'll look the same, huh?
I'm sorry?
I said, let's see how it looks going the other direction, but I was gonna tell you, well, I guess it'll look the same, huh? Only the other
Okay.
direction.
Well, we'll see.
Oh, fine, now it's gonna get caught.
Yeah, so I'm really just one stitch over the edge. Which would be hard to do if you didn't have a guide. And
Yeah.
You don't
Well,
have
that
to
looks
just leave it at
so
one
precise.
stitch.
I mean, you can make it as many stitches away as you wanted.
Oh, sure, I've done it where I've done 1/4 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch. This is like a 1/64 of an inch. Just one little stitch,
But I think it looks
I like
really,
that.
really
but
nice.
it does.
Quite impressed with ourselves.
I agree. Now I am starting off slow at the edge because on the edge, underneath, remember I've got 2 layers of fabric, a layer of batting that's been folded over, and it's quite thick. Oh, it's telling me I need to change the bobbin.
Oh,
but I
well, we
think
have
I
plenty of
enough.
bobbin. Probably.
One more stitch. The nice thing about these machines is when it tells you you need to change the bobbin, you still have enough to finish whatever you're working on, a small section.
And I probably think I always am assuming I have enough to finish more than I have enough, you know.
Yeah,
I figure we have enough to go all the way around the outside too, do you think?
probably.
I'm guessing we do. I think that set that off perfectly.
Yeah, I think so too.
I'm quite happy with that little guy. I impress ourselves.
Yeah, and see, now I can just put it at the edge of my fabric.
And then just go all the way around the outside?
Yep.
Perfect.
Kinda have to be a little fussy at the corners. Okay, look, now I'm right at the edge again. Come on.
Super quick little gift for somebody, and it's good use of scraps.
Oh, yeah,
Those are
these
just 2.5-inch squares. Is that what
Right.
size you used?
I used 2.5-inch squares because the smallest strip I had was 2.5 inches, and then I just cut squares to make the 9 patch. But there's no reason it has to be exactly
could be-
uniform. You
yeah.
can make a wonky 9 patch. That would be perfectly fine too.
I just wanted to show you that there were other uses to your blind hem foot other than just doing the blind hem. But, you know, the blind hem is such a nice thing to be able to know how to do, and people forget how to do it. It's an awesome thing for making a hem.
It is, and what I find that people get the most confused about is how to fold the fabric.
Yeah, it's
But
not.
once you get that S fold down, then it's easy.
Oh, cool.
Alright, there we go.
That turned out very
So
pretty, I
on the
think.
back, we have these nice little
Oh, it even looks cool on the back.
crisscross lines.
Yeah.
Yep. I like it. And on the front, that's a very professional looking little coaster.
Yeah, looks awesome. Let's go to 3.
Okay. I like it. So just
I
one
do
more
too.
time to show them how to fold the fabric. If this is the right side of your fabric, turn it over so you're working on the wrong side of your fabric. I'm going to exaggerate this just to make the point. You're going to fold up your hem. Now this is, like I said, an exaggerated hem. Then you can flip the whole thing over and fold this part back until the hem is exposed.
Now, if you don't want to have a raw edge there, you can have that
You can tuck
edge
this in.
folded over and tuck that in, yeah, and that
Yes.
could be folded like that.
Yes, you can, absolutely. But you're sewing on the hem, not the garment. And that little chick, chick, the little bite is gonna be on the garment.
all right.
But that's how you fold it.
All right.
So, I always used to just fold it up and then pinch. But for some reason, people don't understand me when I say pinch. So, fold up your hem, flip it over, fold this back so that the hem is exposed. You're going to be sewing on the hem. And Sally's right, if you want to make this a closed hem so you don't have a raw edge, just tuck it under, but you're still going to be sewing on the hem and just taking the little zigzag bites out of the actual garment. Then when you open it up, you'll have a nice smooth line of stitching.
And you just make sure that your thread matches your fabric, and you're good to go.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's all we have for you today. We'll try and come back next Thursday with something super exciting.
Something more to ramble about.
Yep. All righty. Take care. Have a great week.
Bye.
Bye.
Actually, that was really fun. I like that.